It'll be fine by dusk, but I'm telling you, baby, these things eat at your bones and drive your young mind crazy. But when you place your head between my collar and jaw, I don't know much, but there's no weight at all. And I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. 'Cause if I say I miss you, I know that you won't. But I miss you in the mornings when I see the sun. Something in the orange tells me we're not done. To you I'm just a man, to me you're all I am. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Poison myself again. Something in the orange tells me you're never coming home. Need to hear you say you've been waiting all night. There's orange dancing in your eyes from bulb light. Your voice only trembles when you try to speak.
Hello my loves, welcome back to another video. I thought I would just take you guys through a little Saturday. My Saturday today, it is like the most stunning day out, so I spent my morning outside, and then now I just like have all of the windows open. And JT is coming home tonight. He was in Austin for some work stuff for South by Southwest, if anyone knows what that is. I think that's what the name is. And he's coming home today around 5. I'm gonna go get him at the airport, and I feel like I am craving some just like soup and some really yummy foods to have in the house. And so I felt like, okay, today I'm just gonna turn on music, have all of the windows open, make some food, because tomorrow my Sunday is a little more packed, so doing a little bit of meal prepping today. But to be honest, I have a lot of thoughts on my meal prepping as of lately and what I've been doing. So I'll share that. But yeah, I'm gonna make a smoothie first because I'm very hungry. And the last thing you wanna do when you are gonna make food is be really hungry, because then I think you want it to like be over with and you get really cranky with it. So I'm just gonna make a quick smoothie. The only thing is I don't have a banana, and like a smoothie without a banana is so tough for me. I'm gonna use an avocado instead. Start me some cooking and jam out, have the music on, vibe out, and make it fun. Okay, the best blender truly ever is the Beast blender. It's so easy to put away and like doesn't take up a lot of space. And I don't feel like I use my blender for like a lot of big things, so this is perfect. And I literally just drink it out of here, so when you're in a hurry, and also I hate doing the dishes, this is it. Let's get to cooking. All right, so I'm gonna start with a very easy, let's just talk. I have been posting a lot on TikTok of like how I have not liked cooking, and I think let's talk about it. I used to enjoy cooking a lot more. I'm in a season of really not loving it, but I'm also in a season of like really wanting to reach a lot of my goals that I have for myself, and some of them being physical for myself. And that includes eating enough protein, eating enough food, making sure I am getting the food that I need in a day. And so also even like with my skin, like there's so many ingredients that I want to add into my food to help my body and my skin. First off, we go through seasons, and seasons are okay. Some seasons we're like really excited about cooking maybe, and some seasons we're not, and some seasons we are really leaning into work, so it's like hard to manage the other responsibilities. Some seasons we are really leaning into self, and so it's hard to manage other responsibilities. Like, I think it's okay for the seasons to flow. I think it's just doing the best we can, but understanding that we're allowed to flow and have seasons. And I haven't really loved that I don't like cooking, because I know that it does so much for me. Like, it really is how I feel my best. And I think I've put it on my priority list too far down, and I'm ready for it to go a little bit higher up on my priority list. And this does not mean I'm going 1 to 100. I think that's the biggest mistake you can make, because say you're like, okay, I want to eat healthy, I'm ready to go, and then you try to cook every meal at home, you try to go 1 to 100 of being healthy, you try to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, that is how we get let down and get burnt out, and then we're like, I guess it's just not for me. Like, I tried it, it's not for me. And so if I could say anything, it's start insanely small. Like, if you think you're starting small right now, start smaller. Like, truly, even meal prepping, like, it's so overwhelming. I even get overwhelmed, and I have had seasons where I'm like a crazy, incredible meal prepper. But right now I just feel like there's other things that I'm like really enjoying. So meal prepping hasn't been number 1 on my list. So I'm finding the balance with it all and being okay with it. And so I'm telling myself not to go 1 to 100. Even in this video, I'm like, let's cook 4 different meals. Realistically, I don't want to be in the kitchen longer than like 2 hours, even max. So I just looked in my fridge and I said, okay, what do I have in here? Because it's the end of the week. So you have all like tons of leftover stuff. Tomorrow I'm going to do like a big grocery store haul, or like go to the grocery store. So today I'm just gonna truly cook whatever is in my fridge, make it so easy. I'm gonna show you the 2 things that I'm gonna make that are so flipping simple. One of them being a 1-sheet pan. I talk about a 1-sheet pan all the time. Let me just grab the things I'm gonna use. See, this is still in my fridge. Brussels sprouts, tomatoes, don't judge me, but chopped already sweet potatoes. This is me being really lazy. And then I actually forgot, these are gonna be wet, but I froze some chicken sausage for like later when I'm gonna use them, and now today is the day. So I'm just like, a 1-sheet pan is probably the easiest thing you can make. It is quite boring, I'm not gonna lie, like it's boring. But the way you can jazz it up is with sauces. So I love like bitchin sauce, I love truff sauce. There's all these like prepackaged sauces that are really healthy and clean that you can add onto the bowl to like jazz it up. But really there's nothing simpler than what I'm about to show you in a 1-sheet pan. So I think instead of like judging yourself that you're not like cooking all the time and you're not doing what you said you did even with your goals maybe that you set at the beginning of the year, let the judgment go and instead meet yourself where you're at. Right now, if you're not in love with cooking, cook very, 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 very simple things and leave time to experiment and try new recipes on the days where you have more time, truly. On the nights where you're like, a glass of wine or a glass of poppy, I would love to try a new recipe, but I'm not gonna do it on a Tuesday where I'm so overwhelmed, I've had the longest day, and I'm gonna try a whole new recipe that's gonna take me an hour. So be really kind to yourself, meet yourself where you're at. And right now, I'm not meal prepping throughout the week. What I'm doing is I'm kind of making the meals more on the day of, besides some ingredients. So like this past week, what I did is I meal prepped just the protein. So I put a crock pot of chicken. I posted this on my TikTok too. And I put mild salsa in there, and I just let that cook for 8 hours. It's literally, you just leave it and let it go. But I've used that shredded chicken all week in a taco bowl. I made like, oh my, this was a day where I was so tired from work. I came home, I heated up microwave rice, and, oh, actually I think I meal prepped rice, but anyway, rice, had the chicken already meal prepped, and then I made a tomato and avocado cucumber salad. So literally just chopped everything up, put it in there, put some lemon and salt and pepper, and that was my side of veggies. It didn't have to be cooked. It didn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense as long as you are just giving your body the nutrients and love that it needs, especially when we are working so hard in our days, and especially when we are working out. Oh my gosh, our body needs that fuel to really physically grow, as well as just like all around our body to function and run its system properly. So let's make this easy. I'm gonna chop all these up, put it on a pan, and then that'll be it.
And by the time she wakes, I'll be halfway to my mama's home. It just dawned on me, life is as fleeting as the passing dawn. And it was my mistake, she never said a thing about Jesus. I miss my mother's southern drawl and her praying through the walls in the evening. Give me my dawn's back. Everything that dies makes its way back. I lost her last July in a heart attack. I need one small victory. Give me my dawn's back. 'Cause everything that dies makes its way on back. Lost a last July in a heart attack. I need one small victory.
I want to know from your guys' end, what do you feel like is the biggest and hardest thing with like eating healthy for you? I think we all have our reasons. I think for me, it's like the patience of cooking. But I would love to hear from you guys of what you feel like your biggest struggle is. Is it like feeling like you need to know how to cook, or like you don't know what to cook recipe wise, or you live with roomies and it's really hard because you're the only one that's wanting to eat healthy? Like, I would love to hear from you. This next dish I'm gonna make is what I made in the last week's vlog with that soup, and I had tons of questions about it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it again because it is so easy. If I could recommend a dish to someone, it's finding dishes that are a 1-sheet pan, a 1-pot pan, a crock pot, an air fryer dish, like something where you don't have a lot of dishes, because I think that's what's most annoying too is, oh my gosh, I just cooked all of this in the kitchen and then now I have to clean up. And another thing, I was talking to my mom today, I think it's harder as you like start to grow a family. Obviously I don't have a family yet, but I do have JT and he eats for 2 sometimes. I think, especially if you are alone or it is just like you and one person, your meals don't have to make sense. Like, if you're obsessed with, I don't know why what's coming to mind is like kimchi. Say you're obsessed with kimchi, like you pair it with what you want to pair it with, and like grab whatever in your fridge, as long as you like, when I enter the fridge, I'm like, okay, I need a protein. Got it. Okay, I need a veggie. Got it. Is my stomach really, is my body really craving like some carbs? Like, does it feel like it needs, like for me, I get really energized by carbs. I know there's a lot of people who do not, and that's something that you can just continue practice to see how you feel after you eat certain carbs. But like for me, like a sweet potato is like so fulfilling for me. But sometimes I'm like, I don't want that for lunch. Like I do just want protein and veggies, and then dinner maybe I'll have that. And so make your own random dish. Like, it does not have to make sense. And I think the more that you allow that to be the case, like you'll actually start to come up with really random things, and then you'll fall in love with sauces to make it a little bit more interesting. So I think just like less pressure of it being amazing in the kitchen, it being so fancy. Allow those times to be when you have time, like I mentioned. But I'm gonna make this steak soup. It's so easy. It's actually my mom's recipe, and she's made it for us since we were kids. And she literally said the same thing. I asked her in last week's vlog, I was like, how did you come up with this recipe? Because there is some things that are a little random in it. And she was like, honestly, like I used to make chicken noodle soup all the time, and like that's pretty self-explanatory. And she's like, and I really love steak, and your dad really loves steak, so I decided to like swap some things out, and then I just kind of like started throwing things in there. And I was like, that is how it's done. So, and I wouldn't say my mom's like a fancy cook by any means. She's like cooks the basics. I think also remembering that all these things that we are learning are for the long term. It's for a lifestyle. Eating is something that we all do, all need. So it's kind of this like tool or habit that takes patience and takes time. It's not something that I think we're just naturally good at. There's some people for sure. Food is here to nourish our bodies. Food is here to help us reach our goals. Food is here to help our system work properly. So how can I build this relationship with food like I would a person? How can I look at it as something that's here to help me? How can I look at it as something that doesn't just happen overnight? It is this like beautiful building of a relationship. I think something that really helps me is looking at food, and when I'm cooking it, I'm thanking it for already nourishing my body. I'm thanking for everyone who came before me to get me this onion, and starting to like really build that relationship and like awe of what food actually is and does for us. It makes me a little bit more excited to cook and be there for myself through food. Skin supplements yet today, so I'm being naughty. I usually like to take them in the morning, but it's fine. But one of them, I think I've shared this with you guys, is taking raw garlic to help with my immune system. Since my white blood cells are so low, it's literally just raw garlic. So I'm gonna dip it in some hummus to not make it be as horrendous. Ooh, that'll do it. That'll be the kick. And then someone asked what supplements I am taking for my skin. So obviously this is just for me personally because of my white blood cells. Are you just here to listen? Are you here to listen? And you're just intrigued of what Mommy's saying? Because my white blood cells are insanely low, so this is all to help really balance out those white blood cells and get my immune system in check. So I'm taking something called Mangista Supreme. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm taking olive leaf. I'm taking the pumpkin oil and the garlic. So that's what I do for 30 days. I'm coming up on my 30 days, and then I change supplements for the next 30 days, and then I take blood work and see how everything's going.
Want some nubbins? Do you want some nubbins? Do you need some nubs?
Do you want some nubbins? You would say hello? I might take him outside. It's like so beautiful. Even though we went on a little beach walk, I feel like he needs to like play ball or something. So maybe I'll take him outside. I love you. I love you. Okay, these are done and it smells amazing. So I'm gonna let them sit, and then I'm gonna put them in some nice containers. And then honestly, it's coming up to the time where I'm gonna pick JT up from the airport soon, and I'm kind of feeling like I might drive Rivy and I by the beach. He's looking at me. And then we've been like dealing with so much rain here in LA, so that's why I feel like I'm trying to spend as much time as I can outside on a day like this. But maybe I'll take him to the beach real quick and then go to In-N-Out. I don't know. I was gonna eat the steak soup with JT tonight, but I kind of feel like maybe saving that. But I'll see, because he's been out of town, so you know you eat out a lot when you're out of town, but I'm kind of craving In-N-Out. We'll see. We'll see. Sometimes I like to like surprise people, but personally I don't like to be surprised. So what if I get him In-N-Out and he's like, I really wanted an at-home cooked meal. He's probably going down for whatever. But anyway, gonna put these away and then do that.
And by the time he wakes, I'll be halfway to my best friend's home. It just dawned on me, life is as fleeting as the passing dawn. And I should have told him twice, I believe in something bigger than both of us.
Stay.
Ruby, do you see Dad? Do you see Dad? Yes. I know, you're so excited. I think Ruby was having a heart attack.
What?
Ruby was
Come
having
here.
a heart attack.
Come here, buddy.
Makes its way on back. I lost it last July in a heart attack. I need one small victory.